Hey guys, Shinlex here, back with our semi-blind playthrough of Morrowind. So last time we left off, we got into Ebonheart. We started talking to the Savant, in the Imperial Commission, and it's like they were just unloading knowledge on us. And, I mean, I stole some stuff too, which is totally fine. I went and made myself some coffee because the tequila was affecting me quite.
What is it, peasant?
Oh, you. Yeah, the tequila was pretty strong, more than I expected. So, made myself some coffee, and right, we got down to yeah, I think the Dwemer. Dwemer, literally the deep or deep-counseled or secretive people, are the fabled lost dwarven race, whose ruins and splendid artifacts are scattered across Tamriel. Elves use the term Dwemer, connoting, shouldn't it be connotating? Whatever. Connoting variously deep-delving, profound, and close-counseled. Imperial usage is dwarven, derived in fable from the affectionate regard of the giant races for their little Dwemer friends. Ruins of the lost Dwemer race are found everywhere in Tamriel, but are most common in Morrowind, once the native land of the Dwemer. Dwemer? Whatever. Oh my goodness. We just got more stuff. Dwemer artifacts, yeah. East Empire Company is a monolith. Yep. Right. Oh, it has authority to trade in Dwemer artifacts, huh? Artifacts salvaged from Dwemer ruins are valuable but protected under Imperial law. Trade in artifacts is illegal. Most valuable are dwarven weapons and armor, both for their superb craftsmanship and for their value to collectors and scholars. Question. So it's illegal, apparently, to possess. How, I mean, if I'm walking around in it, do they freak out? You know? Right. Yeah, also I've basically decided we need to talk to everybody after this. Like, we need to just start going through and literally talking to everybody. Maybe we'll learn nothing, maybe we'll learn something, but, you know. It's key. Fuck is cheap. We just gotta make sure. See, I don't know what's gonna happen when we do that thieves, the fighter guild mission, and kill those thieves, and then we go back to the thieves guild, and I'm like, hey, what about this person? And they're like, you killed them, you're expelled, and I'll be like, crap. You know, you know what I mean? That's what's gonna happen. Okay, I don't. Have I? Okay, Castle Ebonheart is the seat of Imperial authority. Duke Vedum Dren. Okay, Imperial Cult Shrine serves the Duke, retainers, and castle's garrisons. Administrative Center. A unit of the Imperial Guard protects the Duke and the Hawkmoth Legion. Because the East Empire Company is charged directly by the Emperor, its offices, warehouses, and docks are adjacent to castle. Security is assured by the Imperial garrisons. Provinces of Skyrim and Black Marsh maintain diplomatic missions within the walls of Castle Ebonheart to ensure their political interests are respected by the laws and policies of the Duke and Grand Council. Huh. Okay. Yep, okay, fair enough. Enchantments. Temple enchanters favor healing and protection spells. Red Urn enchanters favor wounding, missile loads, and shield spells. Hlalu like weapon enchantments and various spell rings. Imperials use a wide variety of weapon and ring damage enchantments. Yep, we've read that before. Enchanters create enchanted items from themselves, and for unskilled spellcasters, a magic scroll is the simplest enchanted item. Anyone can use it to cast a single spell with 100% reliability. Scroll is destroyed in the process. Enchanters also place permanent enchantments on weapons, armor, clothing, and ornaments. These items cast spells reliably, powered by built-in soul gems. A soul gem's power limits the number of an item's uses, but the gems renew their expended power over time? Really? So if I go purchase a magical shield, for example, because there were some, I don't remember where they were, but we've seen them. Then, or maybe even those knives, or the poisoned weapons. They recharge over time? Huh. We could try it. We have that cursed ring. You know, it's just a matter of seeing if it recharges, right? I didn't know that. I assumed you had to use the soul gems. That's why you have the soul trap spell and the soul gems themselves. I might have to look in the manual about that. Okay, Fighters Guild. Professional organization chartered by the Emperor to regulate hiring and training of mercenaries. Training goods and services are cheaper for members. Guild stewards know where to find work. Look for chapters in Balmora, Aldrune, Wolverine Hall in Sadrith Mora, and the Foreign Quarter in Vivec. Find... Fire Moth. Boyada. Okay. Frald the White. Some words should be shared only by friends. Why? Who is Frald the White? Oh my god, just gave me more. Okay, I know we've read this before. Okay, geographic regions are Ascadian Isles, Ashlands, Azura's Coast, Bitter Coast, Grayslands, Molag and Mur, Red Mountain, West Gash, and Shior-Gorad. Okay, so we're in the G's. Let's scroll back up to the top. Ascadian Isles, I suppose. Oh, and then you added something else. I mean, I kind of love this, but at the same time, I'm like, oh my god, just let me read without adding more things to read. It's like you're reading a book and it keeps adding pages. Alright. Ascadian Isles is the lush green, well-watered lowlands in the south where most of the Vardenfell agriculture is found. The area includes Pelagiad, Surin, Vivec City, and Ald Sotha, along with the inland lakes and waterways of the Ascadian Isles proper. Urban areas of Vivec and Ebonheart of the southern coast are densely populated. The inland Ascadian Isles are dotted with small farms and large plantations. Climate is temperate and comfortable with moderate rainfall. Wow. Okay. Ald Sotha is a splendid... Wait. Ald Sotha is somewhere along here. Splendid Daedric ruin within sight of Vivec City. Though exotic and picturesque, it is a dangerous site, haunted by old magic's dark cultists and their Daedric summonings. Not recommended for sightseers. Okay. Ald Sotha is a Daedric ruin, but Ald Velothi is a tiny fishing village, huh? Okay. Azura's Coast. More. Rugged coast islands of northern and Castle Vardenfell are called Azura's Coast. Region is rocky, infertile, and largely uninhabited, except for the outpost at Molag Mar, the Telvanni settlements at Sadrith Mora, the Wizard Towers at Tel Arun, Tel Mora, and Tel Bernora, and Hamusa Camp, and the remote fishing villages of Ald Redania and Dagon Fell on the north coast. There are no roads. Most travel is by boat. Despite the rocky terrain, a variety of plants thrive on the regular rainfall. Okay, well. Did we read about Black Marsh? Most of the native Argonian population of Black Marsh is so confined to the great inland waterways and impenetrable swamps of the southern interior. There are few roads here, and most travel is by boat. The coasts in the northwestern upland forests are largely uninhabited. For ages, the Dunmer have raided Black Marsh for slaves. Wow. Though the Empire has made this illegal, the practice persists, and Dunmer and Argonians have a long-standing and bitter hatred for one another. Yep, that would make sense. Have I read about Argonians? The Argonians of Black Marsh call themselves the People of the Root. They are equally at home on land or in water and are magically gifted. Persecuted and enslaved by other races, they are cautious and secretive. Little is known of their homeland or native culture, and their alien physiology and customs are not well understood by scholars. Right on. Dagon Fell is a tiny fishing village on the northern coast of Ardenfell on the large island called Sheogorad in the Azura's coast region. Okay. Back down to the E's and the F's. Okay. Morrowind is the northeasternmost province of the Tamrelic Empire, bounded on the north and east by the ocean, on the west by Skyrim, southwest by Cyrodiil, also known as the Imperial Province, south by Black Marsh, also known as Argonia. Vardenfell district consists of the island of Vardenfell, surrounded by the inland sea and dominated by the titanic volcano Red Mountain and its associated ash wasteland. So it could be that the whole map is just Vardenfell Island, or at least the whole playable area. Because they talked about, you can't go out in actual Morrowind. Only recently open to settlement and trade, most of the island's population is confined to the relatively hospitable west and southwest coast, centered around the ancient city of Vivec and the old Great House district centers at Balmora, Aldrune, and Sadrith Mora. The rest of the island is covered by hostile desert wastes, arid grasslands, and volcanic badlands, and thinly populated by the nomadic Ashlander tribes. Right, so they might be front-loading all of the talking. So even though I'm like, oh my god, there's so much talking now, there's going to be less later, because this, like the lower left area is all the population. So I will try and I think I still will try and talk to everybody. Okay, and what was Cyrodiil? Did we get that word yet? Cyrodiil is the cradle of human imperial high culture on Tamriel. It is the largest region of the continent, and most is endless jungle. The imperial city is in the heartland, the fertile Nibene Valley. The densely populated Central Valley is surrounded by wild rainforests, drained by great rivers into the swamps of Argonia and Topol Bay. The land rises gradually to the west and sharply to the north. Between its western coast and Central Valley are deciduous forests and mangrove swamps. Yeah, it's funny, right? Because then you go to Oblivion, and it's just like normal. It's not jungle. But anyway. Right. Oh, wait, okay. Ghostgate is the gate citadel of the Ghost Fence Ordinator and Buoyant Armiger garrisons. Ghostgate sits astride the only gap through which the monstrous host of Dagoth might emerge from Red Mountain to threaten the rest of Morrowind. Ghost Fence itself is a colossal magical artifact that completely encircles Red Mountain and prevents the Blight from spilling its corruption across the rest of Vardenfell. Okay. Okay. Regular rain and dark soils of the Graze lands produce the rich grazing for Ashlander herds that give the region its name. The region lies in the northeast of Vardenfell. sandwiched between the Ashlands and Azura's coast. Permanent settlements include Voss Village and the towers of Tel Voss and Tel Fear. The Ashlanders of Zainab Camp move their herds across the plains in search of fresh grazing. There are no roads or tracks, but travel is easy across the open plains. I think we've... Okay. In modern times, Morrowind is ruled by 5 great houses. House Hlaalu, Redoran, Telvanni, Indoril, and Dress. 3 of these great houses have territorial interests on Vardenfell. The other 2, Dress and Indoril, are not represented on Vardenfell. 3 great houses on Vardenfell identify themselves by their traditional colors: red for Redoran, yellow for Hlaalu, and brown for Telvanni. Thus, members of House Hlaalu may be referred to collectively as Yellows. Great House's traditions derive from ancient Dunmer clan and tribes, but now function as political parties. Dunmer Great House membership is largely a matter of birth and marriage, but Imperial colonists may also become retainers of a Great House, or maybe adopt into a Great House. I think I'm a retainer now. Guards keep the peace and chase down criminals. Each district has its own guards, Legion troopers in Imperial districts, ordinators in Temple districts, Redoran, Hlaalu, and Telvanni guards in their own Great House districts. Guards collect fines and compensation, drag you off to prison. Okay. I don't know if I've read that, but... House Telvanni is one of the 3 Dunmer Great Houses with holdings on Vardenfell. Telvanni wizard lords have traditionally isolated themselves, pursuing wisdom and mystery in solitude, or mastery in solitude, but certain ambitious wizard lords, their retainers and clients, have been entered wholeheartedly into the competition to control and exploit Vardenfell's land and resources, building towers and bases all along the eastern coast. The Telvanni think wisdom confers power, and power confers right. Might makes right. Let's see. By the immemorial custom of Dunmer society, a house may challenge the honor of another house in the person of one of the house's ranking nobles. The ranking noble of the impugned house is marked for death. In ancient times, actually formally marked with a black banner, but in modern times, served with a formal written public announcement. If within a year of the challenge the marked noble still lives, the challenging house must publicly forego any further complaint or scandal on the matter. Only a ranking challenging noble or a Morag Tong may attack the marked noble. In modern times, houses routinely engage Morag Tong. This custom permits houses to war with one another on a small scale without threatening public peace and rule of law. Such violent disputes among great houses are called house wars. Codes of behavior under House Wars of Honor are complex and subtle, and the Morag Tong specialize in the honorable and legal prosecution of these factional vendettas. House wars are expensive, dangerous, and disruptive to all houses involved, but on the island of Vardenfell alone, a dozen or more marked challenges are being prosecuted at any time. It's a lot. Imperials are the educated and well-spoken natives of the civilized cosmopolitan province of Cyrodiil. Imperials are known for their enlightened rule of law and government and the discipline and training of their citizen armies. Though physically less imposing than the other races, they are shrewd diplomats and traders. Their legions have enabled them to subdue all the other nations and races of Tamriel, and to have erected the monument to peace and prosperity that comprises the glorious empire. Okay, yep. Imperial culture is a pragmatic melting pot of various contrasting cultures. I think we've seen this. Oh, interesting. Moral and political corruption at the highest levels of imperial society and the economic strain of maintaining the military occupations in widely separated hostile provinces like Morrowind signals the impending decline of the empire. It's very possible. Imperial culture is a pragmatic melting pot of the various contrasting... Wait, we've already done imperial culture somehow. Oh yeah, we just did it. Okay. Strange, I thought it added something, but I guess... Oh, it must be imperial provinces. Okay. Sweet baby Jesus. There's more. There's always more. Okay. Empire of Tamriel encompasses 9 imperial provinces: Skyrim, High Rock, Hammerfell, Somerset Isle, Valenwood, Elsewhere, Blackmarsh, Morrowind, ancient imperial province itself, Cyrodiil. Morrowind was among the last of the provinces to be integrated into the empire. Because it was added by treaty and not by conquest, Morrowind retains exceptional power to define local law by reference to ancient Great House precedents. Okay, we've read Blackmarsh. Let's do Elsewhere and High Rock. And Hammerfell. The Khajiit of the southern Elsewhere jungles and river basins are settled city dwellers with ancient mercantile traditions and a stable agrarian aristocracy based on sugarcane and salt rice plantations. The nomadic tribal Khajiit of the dry northern wastes and grasslands are, by contrast, aggressive and territorial tribal raiders, periodically united under tribal warlords. While the settled south has been quick to adopt imperial ways, the northern nomadic tribes cling to their warlike barbarian traditions. Okay. Hammerfell is primarily an urban and maritime province, with most of its population confined to the great port and trade cities. Interior is sparsely populated with small poor farms and beast herds. Redguard love of travel, adventure, and the high seas has dispersed them as sailors, mercenaries, and adventurers in ports of call throughout the Empire. High Rock encompasses the many lands and clans of Greater Brittany, the Delis Isles, the Buelsac River tribes, and by tradition the Western Reach. I'm starting to get really tired of all the reading. Just physically tired, mentally maybe as well, but just... Yeah, the rugged highland strongholds and isolated valley settlements have encouraged the fierce independence of various local Breton clans, and this contentious tribal nature has never been completely integrated into a provincial or imperial identity. Nonetheless, their language, bardic traditions, and heroic legends are a unifying common legacy. I'm worn down. There's just so much reading. You know, I just want to stab something or bash it with my mace, you know, like... I feel like after this dude, we're probably not going to have we're probably not going to have a lot of other words that we're going to get, but we'll see. We'll see, right? Okay. Passionate and eccentric, poetic and flamboyant, intelligent and willful, Bretons feel an inborn instinctive bond with the mercurial forces of magic and the supernatural. Many great sorcerers have come from their home province of High Rock, and in addition to their quick and perceptive grasp of spellcraft, enchantment, and alchemy, even the humblest of Bretons can boast a high resistance to destructive and dominating magical energies. Okay. Join the Imperial Legion. Yep. Alright, well, we'll try going to I mean, if we finish this dude's words today, we still need to try and get that Shrine Sergeant thing. And then maybe we'll just be like, all right, I'm out for now. Let's go to Pelagiad and talk to that dude. Okay, Khajiit are cat people of the province of Elsewhere, though the race has a variety of subtypes, each with different forms and habits. Only the smooth, quick, agile Suthairat are encountered in Vardenfell. When most people think of Suthairat, they think of thieves, with good reason, since many Suthairat are cunning, acquisitive, and slow to embrace the sanctity of personal property. But the speed, agility, and bold spirit of the Suthairat also make them gifted traders and adventurers. Tiny fishing village. Find yourself stumbling into trouble when you're tired. Stop being so reckless. Keep an eye out if you're entering unfamiliar territory and you think it might be hostile. Slow down to walk. Look around. Catch your breath. Be ready for trouble. Talk to everyone. Talk is cheap. Ask questions. Working on it. Small isolated village in a remote region north of Aldrune, the Margan Shrine is an important temple pilgrimage site. That's right. We have to do the pilgrimage. It's okay. Okay. Mabragash is an Ashlander witch warrior, a renegade wise woman who has forsaken the established rules of behavior for an Ashlander woman to become a master of dark magic and the weapons of war. By secret rituals, the Mabragash steals a man's vital essence and makes herself a powerful sorcerer and warrior. The manifestation of her dark power is called a ghost snake that paralyzes and drains a victim's vitality. Okay. Professional organization chartered by the Emperor to promote study of the arcane arts. It's where you go to find wizards for hire. Training, goods, and services are cheaper for members. Guild stewards know where to find work. If you're thinking of making wizardry your profession, join and work your way up the ranks. Guild halls are in Balmora, Aldrune, Sadrith Mora, and Vivek. Okay. Located inland in the southeast of Vardenfell, Morlagamur is an uninhabited wasteland of rocky hills, steep-sided ravines, lava pools, and barren ash pavements. Pathfinding and travel is extremely difficult in this trackless wilderness and is complicated by frequent ash storms. Ashlanders of Arabenin Sun Camp hunt game here, but few others venture into this region. The worst part of Morlagamur is considered impassable even by the Ashlanders. The Ashlander Arabenisum tribe has a permanent settlement at Arabenim Sun Camp, an isolated hut settlement in the middle of the desolate Morlagamur region. Outpost at Morlagamur is a fortified stronghold on the southeastern edge of the desolate Morlagamur region. Pilgrims bound for the nearby pilgrimage sites at Mount Asarnibibi and Mount Kand take refuge at the outpost's hostels, comforted by the garrison of Redoran and buoyant Armiger crusaders stationed at the stronghold. Morag Tong is an assassins guild sanctioned by the Empire to provide 3 varieties of execution: public execution, private executions, and house wars executions. Constrained by ancient traditions and rigid codes of conduct, the Morag Tong only recruit candidates of proven skill and honor. Morag Tong only accept legally approved contracts called writs, but rumor hints at the execution of secret extra-legal grey writs. Morag Tong is the sworn enemy of the Dark Brotherhood. So I should go to them and be like, hey, Dark Brotherhood's trying to kill me. I want to join. I want to take them out. Okay. Here's a copy of a short work by Jeanette Sitt, distributed by the Imperial Cult. For a good treatment of Morrowind since it became part of the Empire, look for On Morrowind, the Imperial Province. By Araman, we have Sunhold. Both are by Imperial scholars, but balanced and fair. Yeah, I have that other book. A Short History of Morrowind has been added to your inventory. My god, more reading. It's not a problem. I'm just like, my throat is raw. I'm not used to literally speaking constantly for, half an hour to an hour straight. I'm a savant. I'm a woman of wide learning and cosmopolitan taste, well-traveled woman, educated, refined in manner, able to converse on various topics with authority, and a woman ever ready to defend her honor and the honor of my companions. In short, you see before you a gentlewoman. I can discourse upon history, speechcraft, language, and customs, and for a fee, I offer training that will permit you to share a few of my many virtues. I don't know if you have... Is there training? You don't offer training at the moment. Maybe never. Okay. Oh-ho! The Ashlanders of Prophecy... Yes. But we got the Nerevar keyword. Ages ago, Nerevar was the greatest Dunmer general, first counselor and companion of Vivek, Almalexi, and Sothasil, who, with the power of the great Ring of the Ancestors... Oh. One clan under Moon and Star united the Dunmer houses to confront the evil Dwemer, the treacherous House Dagoth, and their western allies at Red Mountain. By providence, the faithless Dwemer were utterly destroyed, and their allies and the traitor Dagoth were defeated. Nerevar died not long after, but he lived to see the birth of the temple and to bless the unity of the Dunmer into the safekeeping of Almsivi, the temple, and all its communion of saints. Was it, though? And I sued Ancestors, or is that a new one? Yes, no, we've gotten that one. Okay. Nords of Skyrim are a tall and fair-haired people, aggressive and fearless in war, industrious and enterprising in trade and exploration. Skilled sailors, they can be found in seaports and settlements all along the coasts and rivers of Tamriel. Strong, stubborn, and hardy, they are famous for their resistances to cold, even magical frost. Violence is an accepted and comfortable aspect of Nord culture, and they cheerfully face battle with an ecstatic ferocity that shocks and appalls their foes. It's awesome. Orc peoples of the Rothgarian and Dragontail Mountains are brave and hardy barbarians. Once they were feared and hated by everyone else in Tamriel, now many have gained an education and imperial citizenship through service in the legions. Their armors are the finest in the world, and orc warriors in heavy armor are the best frontline troops in all Tamriel. Detractors say that orcs are rough and cruel, but orcs say they are hard but fair and stern but just. Oh, we got more. Okay. 10 races commonly encountered in Morrowind are Redguard, Breton, Nord, Altmer, Dunmer, Bosmer, Imperial, Khajiit, Argonian, and Orc. Dunmer are the native majority, but on Vardenfell, heavily colonized by Imperial Outlanders, only 1 in 2 individuals are Dunmer. The other 9 races are about equally distributed, with more Argonian and Khajiit slaves. As mercenaries, House Hlalu prefers Imperials and Redguards. Redoran prefers Nords and Altmer, and Telvanni prefer Bosmer and Breton. Well, I mean, as much as I want to join Redoran, I'm already in Hlalu, so, you know. Okay. Tell me about, I think have we done Argonian already? Yes. Tell me about Altmer. Altmer are the light-skinned, tall elven peoples of the Somerset Isles. High is taken to mean variously tall, proud, and culturally snobbish. In the Empire, High Elves is the common usage. They consider themselves the most civilized culture on Tamriel, and, in truth, the common tongue of the Empire, Tamrelic, is based on their speech and writing, and most of the Empire's arts, crafts, and sciences are derived from High Elven traditions. Okay. Have we read about Khajiit? Yes. Okay. So... I don't know if we've read this before. Dominant feature of Vardenfell, Red Mountain is a vast volcano in the center of Vardenfell. Outer slopes are steep and rugged, and the crater is deep and dotted with surface lava. Ghost Fence, a magical barrier which blocks travel as well as seals in the harmful, disease-laden weather called Blight, rings the volcano's outer slopes and is broken only at Ghost Gate. Within the Ghost Fence, rain never falls and the sun never shines. The only weather is the red and deadly ash blight. Redguards consider themselves the most gifted warriors of Tamriel. Dark-skinned, wiry-haired people of Hammerfell are born to battle, though pride and independent spirit makes them better scouts or skirmishers, or free-ranging heroes and adventurers than rank-and-file soldiers. They are quick of foot and hardy of constitution, and quickly adopt new weapon and armor styles. Some words only by friends. Sadrith Mora is the district seat of House Telvanni and home of the Telvanni Council. Though only one Telvanni councillor actually lives in Sadrith Mora. Sadrith Mora is an island settlement and accessible only by sea and teleportation. The town is large with many craftsmen, traders, and trainers, but it is open only to Telvanni retainers. Outsiders should confine themselves to the Gateway Inn. Ah. Interesting. I wonder what happens if you walk around, if you're not a Telvanni retainer. Smallest settlements are Ashlander nomadic camps comprised of small portable huts. Rural people live in Dunmer village-style groups of small huts centered around temple compounds. Town and city folk live either in the metropolitan style of Vivek City, the urban styles of towns like Aldrune, or the imperial style of recent settlements like Caldera. Sparsely populated Telvanni districts, the few Telvanni tower towns are essentially large villages dominated by monumental wizard tower complexes. The piercing light of the Grand Pharos at the mouth of the harbor of the port village of Seydanine is a beacon to mariners throughout the inner sea. Most visitors from the Empire make landfall at the port of Seydanine, where they are processed by the Imperial Census and Excise Commission agents of the Coast Guard station. The Coast Guard cutters docked here control smuggling and piracy on the inner sea. Large island of Sheergorad lies north of Vardenfell. Sheergorad Island and its associated lesser islands are maritime wilderness extending north from Vardenfell into the Sea of Ghosts. Regions largely hostile and uninhabited, with two small villages at Aldredania and Dagonfell. Dagonfell is the only settlement reached by ship services. All other island-to-island transport in Sheergorad must be provided by the traveler. Shrines are sanctified objects where the humble and faithful may communicate more directly with their gods. In the temple, shrines take the form of three-sided trioliths, with one side inscribed with the image of a saint of the temple. In the imperial cult, shrines take the form of altars consecrated to the nine divines. Faithful and respectful guests may make offerings and receive blessings at shrines. Faithful higher ranks need make no offering to receive blessings. Skyrim, also known as the Old Kingdom or the Fatherland, was the first region of Tamriel settled by humans from the continent of Atmora, the hardy, brave, warlike Nords, whose descendants still occupy this rugged land. Though more reserved and civilized than their barbarian ancestors, the Nords of the pure blood still excel in the manly virtues of red war and bold exploration. Settled by humans. The human races are short-lived, socially aggressive humanoids, shorter than elves and more technologically advanced than the beast folk. Warlike human cultures have subjugated their elven and beast folk neighbors and synthesized their arts, literature, magic, technology, and theology into Tamriel's dominant subculture, the Empire. Obsessed with progress and destiny, human civilization constantly reinvents itself from materials plundered from conquered cultures and reshaped by human myths and dreams. Okay, we're almost done with this person. Smuggling is the most profitable and dangerous criminal enterprise in Vardenfell. Okay. Castle Ebonheart is a pair of forts on adjacent islands with the Sistada Lagoon west of Vivec City. I think we have... Yes. Right. So forts is a new word, I think. We have garrisons at Fort Pelagiad and Pelagiad, Fort Hawkmoth in Ebonheart, Moonmoth outside Balmora, Buckmoth outside Aldroon, and Darius in Nisus. So you're going to tell me I need to go to Nisus to join the Legion, basically. That's okay. We'll do that eventually. Okay. Let's see. Somerset Isle is a green and pleasant land of fertile farmlands, woodland parks, and ancient towers and manors. Most settlements are small and isolated and dominated by ruling seats of the local wizard or warlord. The isle has few good natural ports. Natives are unwelcoming to foreigners. The ancient chivalric high culture of the Aldmer is little affected by modern imperial mercantilism. Two popular pilgrimage sites are nearby: Fields of Kumu and the Shrine of Molag Bal. Oh. Right, we'll have to check the... So that's what the Fields of Kumu is. Tel Arun is the Telvanni Tower of Archmagister Gothrin, Telvanni Sorcerer Lord, and the head of the Telvanni Council. The associated settlement is a sizable village and the site of the festival Slave Market, the largest slave market on Vardenfell. Wow. Tel Brenor is the tower and seat of the eccentric Telvanni wizard named Mistress Tharana. The tower and its tiny village are located on a rocky promontory at the southeasternmost tip of Azura's coast. Tel Fear is the Telvanni Tower of Sorcerer Lord Devaith Fear. Beneath the tower is the Corpusarium, a refuge prison where the deranged, distorted victims of the deadly corpus disease are housed and tended. Here, let me mark it on your map. Well, that's nice. Here, go get Corpus. Telmor is the Telvanni Tower of Mistress Dratha, an ancient wizard of the Telvanni Council. Small settlement includes a few craft folk and a trade house. Tel Voss is the Tower of Telvanni wizard and council member Master Arian. Tel Voss is a peculiar blend of Telvanni and Western architectural styles, and it's close to Voss village. In Telvanni villages, the settlement is dominated by the wizard's residence called the Telvanni Tower, a fantastic organic form grown and sculpted from stems, caps, and root-like holdfasts of the giant native mushrooms. The tower is often surrounded by a village of smaller mushroom pods, hollowed out for craftsmen and commoners. Okay. Temple believes that Almalexia, Vivec, and Sothasil were mortal guardians of Morrowind who walked the earth, defeated the Dunmer's greatest enemies, the Nords and the Dwarves, and achieved divine substance throughout superhuman discipline and virtue and supernatural wisdom and insight. Like loving ancestors, they guard and counsel their followers. Like stern parents, they punish sin and error. Like generous relatives, they share their bounty among the greatest and least according to their needs. We've read that one before, but you know. Valenwood is a largely uninhabited forest wilderness. The coasts of Valenwood are dominated by mangrove swamps and tropical rainforests, while heavy rainfalls nurture the temperate inland rainforests. Bosmer live in timber clan houses at sites scattered along the coast. The through the interior, connected only by undeveloped foot trails. The few Imperial roads traverse vast, dense woodlands, studded with tiny, widely separated settlements, and carry little trade or traffic of any kind. It is safe to walk around an Ashlander camp, but risky to talk with Ashlanders, especially if you do not know their customs, since they may take offense at your speech and challenge you. When visiting, speak with the people. You cannot receive an invitation to enter a yurt or tent without speaking with an Ashlander. If an Ashlander gives you permission to enter a Khan or Wise Woman's yurt, you are welcome, but enter a Khan or Wise Woman's tent without invitation and the whole tribe will attack you. Good to know. Right, so basically don't go into any houses unless you talk with them, but it's risky to talk with them. Got it. The western highlands of Vardenfell are called the West Gash. The largest settlements are the trading village of Nisus, north of Aldrune, and Caldera and Balmora to the south. The fishing villages of Ald Valathi and Cool lie on the north coast. Muck sponge grows there, and I've collected chokeweed and rue brush as well. Ashlander Zainab tribe has a permanent settlement at Zainab Camp, southwest of the village of Voss in the Grayslands region. I think I'm going to stop here, honestly. I am... just so tired. Like, that's a lot. That's just a lot. Alright guys, that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for your time and attention. Really do appreciate it. Really hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm going to take a break. I don't think this is going to be my last episode that I record today, but I'm, wow, yeah. That's just a lot. As always, guys, questions, comments, concerns, good, bad, or indifferent, let me hear them. I do read all of them, assuming I see them. Do try and respond to all of them as well. What's your guys' unique positive moment for today? For me, I'm going to go with the coffee. Kind of like the McDonald's coffee I was drinking earlier. This is the Dunkin' Donuts coffee, and I got to be honest, it's almost identical. The roast, the coarseness, it's almost exactly the same. Maybe it is the same. I don't know. It's not bad. It's very earthy and a very coarse ground, but the stuff that I make that's the same beans, I assume, or same roast or whatever, is better. That's it. Still, it's neat. It's not bad. But that's my unique positive moment. Hopefully your guys is just as good, if not better. Hopefully better, of course. And I hope to see you guys next time. Till then, guys, take care.